Hello to Pioneer viewers, how are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well. As the Pioneer team, we continue to share with you the developments regarding Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, we will share with you an incredible success achieved by the Ukrainian armed forces. As it is known, one of the most important factors of this war was undoubtedly the intelligence organizations, and while the success of the intelligence organizations created an advantage for Ukraine, it caused a great disadvantage for Russia. So Ukrainian military intelligence, one of the important units working within the Ukrainian armed forces, has recently carried out an incredible operation. During this operation, all information about the false flag operations planned by the Russian armed forces was reached. And in this way, the Ukrainian army gained a very serious advantage. So what are the details of this operation and the plan of the Russian army? Let's take a look together. So, as the Pioneer team, we continue to share our report on Russia-Ukraine war with you. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications as not to miss our daily reports. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. So the war between Russia and Ukraine continues to shake the balance in the Europe. So there is Ukraine that has been for years looked down upon the targeted by Russia, and on the other hand, there is Ukraine that is reversing these perceptions and revealing that Russia is not really as powerful as it seems. So the war has succeeded in destroying all the perceptions of reality in the world. So the Russian Federation is grappling with the incredible mistakes that have been made since the beginning of the war. The mistakes of the Russian armed forces and the mistakes of the Russian political leadership, the mistakes of the Russian intelligence are dragging the Russian Federation step by step towards a major catastrophe. So, of course, there is another very important reason for the Russian armed forces to make these mistakes, Russian intelligence. In recent days, we've been drawing attention to the problems caused by the Russian intelligence quite often, and the mistakes made by the Russian intelligence are repairable. This creates a great advantage for the Ukrainian armed forces and a great disadvantage for the Russian armed forces. So in recent days, Russian intelligence has again showed an incredible weakness. Due to this weakness, it is very likely that a major innovation will take place in the Russian armed forces. However, this innovation should not be evaluated in a good way because the last mistakes made by the Russian intelligence will be costly. Taking advantage of the weakness of the Russian intelligence, Ukrainian intelligence managed to reach the details of the false flag operation planned by the Russian armed forces. Developments regarding the false flag operation planned by Russia were shared with the public by the Ukrainian General Staff. We will also mention statements made by the Ukrainian General Staff a little later. But according to the intelligence reports in question, the Russian army would organize a false flag operation on the Kherson front line, a region where the Ukrainian armed forces have inflicted heavy losses on the Russian army for a long time. So according to the reports, during this operation, Russian soldiers wearing Ukrainian military uniforms would carry out an attack on the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. So it was planned to record the footage of the attack on this nuclear power plant and share it with the world public opinion, and the aim of the Russian military was to legitimize the Russian invasion of Ukraine and blame the Ukrainian army for a nuclear disaster. Thanks to this plan, which was considered quite successful in theory, the negative judgments about Russia could be reversed, and the Russian armed forces could also recover their image. Moreover, Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, who had decided to invade Ukraine, would have been vindicated in the eyes of the whole world, and it was a successful plan, but only in theory. I've also stated in many of our previous reports, while the Russian armed forces are having problems in the terms of intelligence, there is a remarkable claim. Could there be a situation of betrayal within the Russian intelligence? But this situation has come to the agenda more and more with this incident. Many Russian sources have started to express this situation, which they often claim, because Ukrainian intelligence allegedly obtained this information from the names who served in Russian intelligence but betrayed Russia. Because of this information, there is a great panic in the Russian army. So there has been a movement in the Russian intelligence in recent days. The reason for this mobility is the allegations of betrayal. Allegedly, Russian intelligence has now stopped caring about the war, and their only focus now seems to be to find a betrayal within the Russian intelligence. This is a very serious situation for Russia, and Russia is facing a great security and intelligence weakness. This weakness has been on the agenda for a long time. However, this is the first time that it is seen so clearly. Well, the Ukrainian General Staff also made a statement and shared details about the false flag operations planned by the Russian armed forces. The following statements were used in the statement in question. It was already known that Russia tried to hold Ukraine responsible for the unmanned attack on nuclear power plant facilities in the last few weeks. However, this time it came out clearly. No one but the Russian terrorists has brought the war so close to the brink of the deliberate radiation catastrophe. So the Ukrainian state will continue to protect the whole world from both a nuclear catastrophe and the Russian aggression. We will continue to fight for a free world, and we make a clear appeal to the Russian leadership and those who are preparing the invasion plans. Stop doing dangerous things, and we're aware of all the plans you are trying to make. The cost of these plans will be heavy for you guys. So, as it can be seen, the Ukrainian armed forces draw attention to very striking points and make very serious warnings to the Russian administration. Russia is really playing with fire. But while the likelihood of this situation dragging the whole world into a great disaster is quite high, the desperate Putin administration is trying to continue its persistent moves. However, it is also possible to say that there are Russian officials who are fed up with this situation, especially the allegations of betrayal within the Russian intelligence are a very important factor. If the Russian intelligence is indeed experiencing a weakness, this will make it even easier for the Russian army to suffer a major defeat on the front line. So while the resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces and the Ukrainian intelligence, the Ukrainian state and the Ukrainian people in coordination is turning into a giant against the Russian army, the invasion plans of the Russian army are being postponed more and more every day. Russia's invasion plans have almost collapsed. And Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, is not at all satisfied with the latest situation. And of course, this situation will have its cost. So who will pay this cost? And what do you think? Do you think there could be a betrayal within the Russian intelligence? And to what extent could this affect the future of the war? And how do you evaluate the resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces in the cooperation with the Ukrainian intelligence? What do you think is the share of Ukrainian intelligence in the successes of the resistance of the Ukrainian army? And do you think that the Russian army will carry out the false flag operations? Share it in the comments, because I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.